Hey guys, it's Sarah at Straight Up Homeschool. Today I'm going to go over how I pick curriculums for our family. So I'm not telling you which books, which curriculum you should use, but I'm going to go over the mental process that I use to arrive at the curriculums that we use. So let's get started. So I have a list that goes through the mental process that I use when I'm picking curriculums, but first I want to share a very quick story with you about the first curriculum I ever picked out for our family. We ended up not using it. I used it, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, and it just was not working out well, and I felt horrible. It made me question, can I really homeschool? At the time, our budget was fairly tight, and I just felt awful that I wasted that money. And it was a hard season just starting out and trying to navigate all the homeschool things and kind of going against the grain. And so I hope these tips help you avoid the way that I felt. And I hope I'm able to lift you up and share the wisdom that I've gained over the years. So without further ado, here's my list. Yeah, I have to be holding something in my hand or I sound like super boring. So it is what it is, you guys. The first thing is learning style. Please be aware of your child's learning style. Are they an auditory learner, visual, kinesthetic, more hands-on, tactile? So, you don't want to pick out a literature-based, like auditory type curriculum if your child needs something more hands-on. So, be aware of the learning style when you're looking at curriculums. Two is budget and cost. How much do you want to spend on curriculums? They range, from free to hundreds of dollars. So, think about how much is it worth to you? How much are you willing to spend on it? And maybe, one curriculum you're willing to spend more on and others you can find for cheaper. So, and sometimes you can find them used. Please check eBay or, Facebook Marketplace or the Facebook pages. We also have a store near us called the Homeschool Hub, a home educator's resource, and they also have an online store. So check that out too. You can find some really good deals on used items, and they have new items also, but I love a good deal. It's nice to save money. Three is, do you want something that's open and go, or do you want something that requires some prep work? And sometimes it's a combination, maybe something is really prep heavy, and then other curriculums that you have are more open and go, so you have kind of a balance. And just when you're thinking about the preparation, don't just think about like, what could I do? What are you realistically going to be preparing the night before, the week before? Maybe you're one of those super organized people and you have everything all set up. I want to be like you. I'm not though, and that's okay. We all have our talents, but I admire you if you are great at preparing. Four, religious or secular. If that's something that's really important to you, just be aware of it from the get-go. We've used both curriculums. I think, for some of the secular ones, especially like the science type curriculums, it's just a good teaching opportunity to tell your kids like, hey, I don't agree with this, and just because it's written in a book doesn't mean that it's true. So that's kind of how we've approached it. Five, color versus black and white. Usually the color curriculums cost a little bit more. I am naturally drawn to color, so like I just tend to like those a little bit more. That doesn't mean that the curriculum is better. So that's something I have to be aware of when I'm looking at them, when I'm analyzing, like, oh, do I just like it because it's color, or is the content really better, or is the style really going to work better for us? Six, rigor and levels. Rigor, I mean, how challenging is the curriculum? Does it exceed standards? Does it meet standards? Is it really not up to standards, or is it just eking by? So how challenging do you want the curriculum to be? And then also the levels. Is it just a curriculum that does elementary age books? Does it do middle school or high school? An example is for us, we were changing the math curriculum for my sixth grader this year, and when I was picking that out, I wanted to make sure whatever we picked out could go all the way through high school, like a high school level. Like a challenging high school level, and which was crazy to think, that far in advance. But I just wanted to make sure that we could have the continuity. I'm not saying we're locked into that one, but I don't like switching core subject curriculums regularly. 7, ask friends. And when you ask your friends, ask them why or why not, because something that worked or didn't work for their family might be different for your family. So always dig a little bit deeper to, figure out exactly why. 8, samples and reviews. Most curriculum companies have samples of their curriculum online that you can download. And you can also go look at YouTube videos or blogs of the curriculums and see flip throughs and stuff like that. And it's very if you can get the book in your hands, that would be even better. There have been some that I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I get the book in my hands. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I was picturing in my head. And that's okay. 9, source it out. Do you want to hire a tutor or take a class, a homeschool class outside of the home, or do an online class? There are, help available for you. This year we're sourcing out writing for my 6th grader. It's a hard subject for me. It's a struggle subject for him. And so I was like, you know what, we're going to source this out and get some help with that. And that's okay to source things out. You don't have to do it all. You can source out one subject or multiple subjects. Like, it's okay. There's help available. 10, discuss it with your spouse. Hopefully you have a supportive spouse. I like to just externally process and talk things out with my husband, and he's so sweet to listen to me go on and on about curriculums, but he'll be like, hey, you sounded kind of like unsure or hesitant when you talked about this one, or you sounded really excited about this one, or he'll look at a sample online and say like, hey, did you see, XYZ thing? And I'm like, oh, so he kind of sees different things. And yeah, you've got this. It's okay if things don't go as planned. Just last year I bought a Spanish curriculum and I thought we were going to love it. I researched it. I did all the things, and it had videos and audio CDs and workbook pages and different little puppet things to hold up. And it just did not work out. It was that we were learning, so I guess it did work out in that way. It was just exhausting for me, and I was like, I cannot maintain this curriculum. Like, it's not working out for us, and so we stopped it. Maybe we'll pick it up again sometime, or maybe we'll do it in the summer when I'm not, doing all the things. But it's okay if you get something and it doesn't work. It's not a reflection of you as a mom or a teacher. It's not saying that you're good or bad or anything like that. It's saying, hey, we tried something and it didn't work, and that's okay. So you've got this. If you have a tip on how to choose curriculums, something that works well for you, please put it down in the comments to help our homeschool community. Thank you.